to 2 years TDC based upon the facts of the case. As the court recalled, the allegation was a one-time touch over the clothes while the mom was out partying with her friends.
Give him 11 years, 1 year for each year of Angelina's life at the time he molested her. And that when you decide to touch a child's vagina, it's going to be taken seriously and you will be punished. He used to show no remorse and makes no apology for what he's done in decency with a child by contact.
The court is calling 2019 CR 3013, State of Texas versus Jeremy Ray Raffinet. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
Michelle Hayden for the state.
For the defense?
Robert Maurer for the defendant, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Raffinet?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're here for sentencing. You received a guilty verdict from the jury. All right, state.
Your Honor, we don't have any witnesses. We just have argument. We'll reserve.
All right, defense, I'll hear your argument then.
Judge, I'm sure the court remembers this trial. I was frankly stunned that any jury in Bexar County would have convicted Mr. Raffinet on the facts and the testimony that was put in front of it, both with the testimony from the complainant that contrasted with the testimony from her own mom. The detective, I think, did a poor job working the case up and presented the evidence. I think the court should take that into consideration when assessing punishment. Of course, it doesn't matter what I think that he was convicted by a jury, but the court recalls, I think there were a lot of issues with what we had as far as jury deliberations that led me to believe that somebody had made it onto the jury through some sort of deception. And I would ask the court to sentence Mr. Raffinet to 2 years TDC based upon the facts of the case. As the court recalled, the allegation was a one-time touch over the clothes while the mom was out partying with her friends. And that was the entire case. Mr. Raffinet's prior criminal history involves, I think, some state jail time for theft. Judge, I would ask the court to take that in consideration when assessing punishment. And I would ask the court to sentence him to 2 years TDC since he is not eligible for probation.
All right, state.
Your Honor, defense seems to have a different recollection of the case than I do. The court heard the testimony of Angelina Straub, Christina Bigler, Eric Mata, and Detective Stokel. I thought Angelina and her mother both came across as very credible and still very affected by what happened to Angelina that night. Now let's talk about the defendant's criminal history. Defense says that he did some state jail time for theft, but he actually did more than that. So in 2016, he spent 13 months in a state jail facility for taking someone's car that did not belong to him. In 2017, he was confined for 12 months for another theft in Comal County. And in 2019, he was sentenced to 4 years in prison when he screwed up his probation again on a case where he'd taken someone's property that did not belong to him. So the defendant has a bad habit of taking things and touching things and people when he shouldn't. Let's talk about this case. He continues to show no remorse and makes no apology for what he's done. And defense may have their opinion about the trial, but the fact of the matter is a jury did find him guilty of the indecency with a child by contact. Now, Angelina had to wait 4 years. That is a long time in the life of the child. She had to stand in front of this court and be re-victimized. It was clear when she walked into the courtroom and started testifying that she was still very much affected by what the defendant did to her. And think about how frightened she was that night when she texted her mom. He violated this family in the worst way possible. Christina Bigler thought she met someone who cared about her and her kids, someone that she could trust, someone that would help her. Think about what it was like for her to get those text messages that night, how terrifying that must have been. And she can't be here today because her child is sick, but you heard from them in the trial. We're asking you to sentence to the defendant to 11 years in prison, so that for the next 11 years or the remainder of his sentence, he can think every day about how he's not supposed to touch children. 12 months wasn't enough. 13 months wasn't enough. 4 years wasn't enough for him to learn to be a better person. Give him 11 years, 1 year for each year of Angelina's life at the time he molested her. Let that be a daily reminder to him that what he did was wrong, and we are going to hold him accountable, and that when you decide to touch a child's vagina, it's going to be taken seriously and you will be punished.
All right, Mr. Raffinet. The court will sentence you to 8 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. And there should be Chapter 62 registration. That's lifetime registration. Do you understand? I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled. I'm sorry, is there anything else on either side with regards to sentencing?
No, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
In a Behar County courtroom, a jury found Jeremy Rothney guilty following testimony from a young girl and her mother. The case centered on an incident that occurred while the mother was away from home. Rothney came into this family's life through a relationship with the mother, who trusted him around her children. That trust was broken in the worst possible way. His criminal history stretched back years, multiple theft convictions, state jail time, and a pattern of violating probation. Prosecutors argued he had never learned accountability. Despite a jury conviction, Rothney showed no remorse and offered no apology in court. His defense attorney requested a lighter sentence, but the prosecution pushed back hard. Judge Boyd sentenced him to 8 years in prison, along with lifetime sex offender registration. The prosecutor's closing words were pointed: accountability matters, and the sentence needed to reflect the gravity of what this child endured.